you like to take pictures of your everyday carry gear and post them on social media? If so, you're in the right spot. Welcome to the Barbarian Bar. So I'm going to share some helpful tips that I do when I take pictures of my everyday carry gear and post them all on social media. But we're not going to use a camera. We're going to be using our phone. I everyday carry my phone, so why not use our phone for everyday carry? I'm sure everybody's using their phone to take pictures because that's what they have on them. If we're talking everyday carry gear, let's just say you went out and you just got a brand new knife. You get home, you don't want to go get your camera because you're not carrying it with you. Or maybe you're at a park, or maybe you're in the parking lot and you want to show off right away. You want to flex what you just got. So number one helpful tip that I've got, put your phone in Do Not Disturb. I couldn't tell you how many times that I have been taking a picture, I'm using the natural sunlight, and bzz, bzz, bzz. Oh, it ruins the picture. Promise you, it sounds funny, but you're going to definitely thank me later for that one. Number two, using portrait mode. Portrait mode is going to give you that bokeh, that blurry background we love to see. If you're taking a picture of just your knife, or maybe a pry bar, maybe it's your pouch you want to take a picture of, you want to focus on that. Using that portrait mode that we have inside most of our phones is going to be extremely beneficial. Number three is lighting. Lighting is key to photography in many different ways. We could go down a rabbit hole of lighting, but what I can tell you is making sure you know where your light is and how it's casting onto your product. You want the sun to be facing on to the product. I like to use shadows to guide my eyes into things. We could go in for a long time on lighting. Number four is composition. They call it rule of thirds. Another thing we can go in way deeper, but the helpful tip I call for that is using the grid on your phone. You know, you can show the grid up as far as where the product is going to be. It's also going to help you keep the photos up and down. You know, I tend to be a little wonky sometimes, but that grid can help me stay centered to the earth. Number five, keeping yourself low, making the product look bigger. Getting low makes your product pop way better. If you're taking an overhead shot, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the photo that I'm going to show you that I took. Let's just say you're taking it up and down. Shooting low really makes that product pop way more. Number six, five, six, number six. How do people do it? Six like this, six like this. Anyways, number six, take lots of photos. We can delete them. You can delete all the photos off your phone, but I promise you, you will see in the photos in Lightroom that I've brought in, they are blurry. You're going to see where some of them just did not turn out. I can delete them. That way you don't miss out on the shot. And it's a good thing I did take a lot of photos because the building that you see in these photos is actually now gone. We will be burning that whole building down. The fire department's going to come out and we're going to do a controlled burn on that building. Well, let's go outside and take some photos. We're not going to be inside. We're going to use natural lighting and take some photos of the Benchmade Bugout. That's what we're we had this building fall over the winter, and I'm going to use that as a backdrop. I think I'm going to use some leading lines right here. We talked about what we're going to do with the pictures. We talked about the composition being main focus, and I'm going to shoot low. I think that's going to give some really good leading lines here. So first things first, it's hot out here, like 81 degrees. I'm sure anybody down south is like, dude, it's not that hot, dude. But when you've been coming off winter and it's been like negatives, it's hot out. So we talked about putting the phone in Do Not Disturb. Let's go ahead and get that started, and let's see what this works. Portrait mode. And I'm going to shoot. Remember, you can take as many photos as you want because you can always delete them. Another tip that I like to do is flip the phone upside down.
So yeah, this winter this building fell down. All the snow got on top of there and got heavy enough apparently to let it drop down. I tell you guys, it's really hot outside. I am sweating.
All right, we're back inside here. I have loaded the photos from my phone into Lightroom Mobile. I can definitely do this all from the mobile phone, but I love using my iPad, so I'm gonna edit it in my iPad directly here. So let's take a look here. The editing process is absolutely key. I don't care what anybody says, but editing is definitely important if you're going to post anything. It can make your photography from average to outstanding, I promise you. So I'm going to go over some of my tips that I like to do when it comes to editing. Alright, so I've loaded them into Lightroom. I could definitely do this from the phone, but I just like editing directly on the tablet here. So I found this one is one I really like the most. But if you can see here, some of these took a bad turn, let's just put it that way. Too dark, blurry. This is just why you take photos abundantly. You take way more than you think you need. This is why. Somebody's zoofed. Alright, so let's take a look here. I've marked this one. This is one I kind of like here. I always like to start out by cropping the photo. And this is where those grids probably would have came in a lot better, but let's see, zoom in here. You can see there's a grid on here. After, for the editing part, let's get it up straight up and down here. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like to do a 4x5 because that's what the standard Instagram photo will be. Let's start out. Cropping is kind of like I said, it's kind of always where I like to begin. In Lightroom, I kind of like to go from top to bottom. So let's go to lighting here. Exposure, well, it looks pretty good. Let's go a little bit darker. Bump the contrast. Let's see here. You can always go up and down. And with Lightroom Mobile, depending on the photo you did, it can vary. Let's see, contrast looks fine. Highlights. Because I got the sun casting from right to left, looks good. I don't know. Shadows. Let's bring them up a little bit here. I'll leave them. I guess that's fine. Whites. I think it's gonna pop a little bit more. Let's go there. Up. This is why I always kind of go back, see what it looks all the way one way, the other. See how it does. Looks good there, about what, -18. Let's look at the color here. Temperature. What are we thinking? I don't know, it always varies how I like to edit the temperature. I think with the temperature on this one, let's go a little bit warmer. It was warm outside, so let's go there. Tint. Let's make the reds pop a little bit here. Looks good there. Vibrance. I don't know. Let's kind of go about here. I like to be a little vibrant with my colors for this one. I think this is going to look good that way. Saturation. Definitely want to have some color in there. Looks good. Let's go to color mixture. I'm not a fan of yellow, so I think I'm going to bring the yellows down a little bit. Yellow is just not a color that I care for as much. I don't know why. Let's take a look here. Reds. Let's saturate them a little bit here. Luminance. Let's bring it down a little bit. I think that's going to make that paint look really good. I love the way this paint looks here. Greens. You know what? I think I'm going to pull the green out a little bit. I think it's going to... Yeah, I think it's going to make it look better. Say make it darker in the background here. The rest of the colors I think will be fine. Let's go definitely a vignette because I want that knife to look good. I want it to pop out a little bit. Okay, let's see here. I think vignette is pretty good normal. Let's see, texture wise, let's add some texture because here's the thing. When you take a picture with your phone, you lose some of that detail. A little clarity, and let's make it a little more clear. Sometimes this is a Peter McKinnon thing. He likes to put grain in some of his photos. I don't know why. I'm not going to do that. Let's leave it the way it is. Detail. Because it's from the phone, let's sharpen it quite a bit. Let's see, looks fine there. Masking's fine. Reduce noise. I think I'm going to go in and detail the knife blade a little bit. Let's see, contrast. We'll leave it, that's fine. Color noise reduction. Yes, we definitely want to do that. I'm a fan of making things smooth. It really kind of makes a difference. Different styles of photos you take, but I'm going to leave this one. I think smooth looks fine here. Let's see here. I think I'm digging so far what we got here. Cool thing with Lightroom is masks. Let's see here. I'm going to add a linear gradient coming from this way because this is where the sun is. I'm going to actually accentuate that a little bit more. Kind of bump the exposure up a little bit. And let's see here. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay. Let's do a gradient here. Let's really actually kind of make the knife pop a little bit. I'm always a fan of kind of like, yeah, that looks good. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. The effects. That looks good. Texture, let's bring the texture down a little bit. And that's looking good here. Let's throw another mask on. Let's do another one. Let's kind of bring this kind of right here. And you know what? I think I'm gonna make it darker. No, yeah. Let's bring this up a little bit here. You know, maybe actually I'm gonna copy that one and I'm gonna put another mask again. And darken it up a little bit here. I know we can probably add that on, but I am gonna like that here. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. It's looking pretty good. I'm a big fan of editing. I think editing is almost just as fun as actually setting up the shot, taking the photo. I could sit here for hours, but this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it here. I'll just show you guys. It's looking pretty good. Remember, that's coming from the phone, so that's a pretty good shot. I took quite a few other shots while I was out there here. I'm pretty happy with it. I think this Benchmade Bugout is definitely a stunner, that's for sure. It's crazy how much that photography and everyday carry go hand in hand. I mean, a cool thing about EDC photography that I think is cool is you've got your phone on you. You always have your EDC gear on you, everyday carry, no matter where you are. You want to set up a crazy cool shot of your stuff. You always have that stuff with you. It's always going to be with you. So everyday carry gear, photography, it's cool how they go hand in hand, that's for sure. If you found this helpful, definitely let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, do all the fancy stuff that everybody's always asking. It's going to motivate me to make more videos, and I can go in more in depth on photography if you do want. You know, maybe we'll use the camera next time. There are other things when it comes to photography. This is just basic, right down to it. As far as some of the photography that I like to do, I tend to do what's called the sandwich rule as well. I really enjoy that. That's where you have your foreground, your middle ground, and your background. The foreground and the background are blurry, and you focus just on what you're taking the picture of. Super cool stuff. If you want me to go more in depth, definitely let me know down in the comments for sure.